All right, it is the last official weekend of summer.
Yeah, and don't let that last story fool you. If you want to go to Lake Washington and swim, it would be a good one to do so.
Absolutely. In fact, this is going to be a great weekend to get out and do literally anything you want. We got the Mariners with a homestand with the Dodgers. Conditions are going to be perfect for that. In fact, some LA-ish type weather. I'll tell you more about that, but let's start on the East Coast right now. Lee getting a lot of attention, especially when it ramped up to a Cat 5 earlier this week. Still sitting at Cat 1 status. Currently sustained winds about 80 miles an hour. Now, even though it's staying well away from the eastern seaboard, watches and warnings all the way up and down here for storm surge and a very large wind field. Now, here is the good-ish news. When it makes landfall, it's going to be right around noon tomorrow. It will back off to a post-tropical low, so it's not going to hit Canada. Tropical storm hitting Canada, go figure. But it will come in with some sustained winds and some pretty powerful storm surge, and then just eject off into the Atlantic here, where it'll hit some cooler water and wind down by the time we get to about 5 p.m. on Monday. Luckily, it doesn't look like it's going to have major impacts, but still really remarkable. Closer to home, much more mellow. It's going to stay warm and dry through Saturday. Elevated fire conditions in the mountains. In fact, some offshore flow is really going to drive that relative humidity down. I'll tell you more about that in a moment. Increased clouds and cooler on Sunday, but latest forecast model runs taking rain out of the equation, so it's going to be a very user-friendly weekend. New cooler system on Monday. This will be the 4th week in a row that we get the inclement weather out of the way early and then cruise into another good-looking weekend next weekend. Did you hear about this? Temperatures hit the 90s in Shelton and Chehalis today, 78 in Forks, 77 in Bellingham. It was warmer in Shelton than it was in Wenatchee and Ellensburg today. Go figure. 89 today in Olympia as well. Now, temperatures will back off as we go into the weekend, but I would submit that it's going to get into a really comfortable range. 77 in the Seattle Metro Saturday, low 70s on Sunday, and then the inclement weather moves in Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then we're going to warm up again next weekend. Now, that fire weather watch, it's not a warning, but what we're saying here is that relative humidity could get as low as 12% in some spots. That's really low, and those wind gusts offshore will get up to about 30 miles an hour as far as the gusts go. So that'll be in place until Sunday at 8 p.m. Do be very careful out there. Here's why that's important. As we take a look at the GOES 18 satellite, there's still plenty of wildfire haze up in British Columbia. There's still plenty of it in Oregon. There's still plenty of it in Northern California. You may have noticed that during the sunset tonight. We're going to try and get that out of here as we get yet another system to move by and cool things down and bring more rain into BC. It'll be a little bit foggy along the coast and Puget Sound tomorrow, but as soon as it clears out, it's going to be a marvelous day and a fantastic weekend. And again, we're going to follow that pattern, cool and inclement Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then good looking stuff again on Wednesday.